Imagine relying on loyalty to build your empire, only to have the people you trusted the most turn on you. Mona Scott experienced precisely that. She's cleaning the house now. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has included Kirk and Rashida from the start. After enduring business ventures, outside children, and cheating scandals, they eventually established a reputation as one of the franchise's most iconic couples. They were brand ambassadors, not merely members of the cast. Either they were loved or hated by fans. In any case, they contributed numbers, but in the background, their relationship with the show began to change.
To find this cheater, and y'all think Rashida is so dumb, and Kirk is so dumb, and he's just a cheater. Where the f are the bitches that I'm cheating with? Help me out.
According to insiders, Rashida, once a favorite among fans due to her fortitude and boss demeanor, became increasingly challenging to collaborate with. Off camera, she allegedly began to make more demands, pushing back against script outlines, demanding more control over her portrayal, and even refusing to film scenes that didn't fit the image she was attempting to guard. The producers became irate, and Rashida, who had previously accepted the drama, started dismissing entire plot lines as phony and detrimental to her reputation. According to a number of sources, she left several meetings saying she no longer needed this show. Kirk wasn't helping either. He reportedly arrived late to filming days, missed call times, and strained relationships with the younger cast members. He treated production like they owed him, according to some crew members, and acted as though he was above the show. Rumors of dubious business tactics were also circulated, ranging from unpaid appearance fees to devious brand agreements that circumvent show contracts.
I think that one went too far. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, because in all, and I think I'd like to think that right now I see that she's super successful in everything she's doing. I've always said I wish her all the best. I'd like to think that if she's going to be 100% honest, she knows that I never had anything but the best intentions for her, right? And the way that things transpired in that moment that it did, we were at an especially
a power couple turned into a management nightmare together. For the fans, the legacy, and the drama, Mona nevertheless kept them around. That patience, however, was short-lived. Conflict, however, is nothing new to Mona. What then was unique about this situation? The solution is a huge explosion that was beyond Mona's control. A planned shoot earlier this season was where it all came to a head. Within minutes, what was supposed to be a routine day of filming descended into chaos. Production sources claim that although the scene was set for a conversation about Kirk's most recent business venture, tensions were already high. Rashida is said to have arrived agitated and slapped the producer over the setup right away. She said the crew was attempting to make her appear unflattering on camera and refused to film what she described as a phony plot. After a heated back and forth, the argument quickly turned into a full-on yelling match. Crew members reported that Rashida yelled at producers, accusing them of attempting to damage her reputation and even threatening to leave the scene in the middle of it. According to reports, security was called at that point. Several witnesses claimed that the aggressive behavior went beyond simple yelling and that the crew had to intervene to defuse the situation. Kirk then jumped in, telling producers to turn off the cameras and supporting Rashida. However, it didn't end there. Allegedly, he made direct contact with network representatives and insisted that they remove the scene entirely. According to reports, the production lost thousands of dollars because of that delay alone. A day of controlled filming ended with no footage, a shook crew, and numerous unanswered calls. At that point, Mona understood that this was more than just a reality TV drama. Because it was outright sabotage, she had to remove the gloves. Mona wasted no time in responding to the mayhem on set. She met with her legal team and showrunners behind closed doors within a day. Sources within that meeting claimed that this was not just one isolated outburst, but rather a pattern of disdain, continuous contract violations, and the loss of capital and production time. According to internal memos that were shared between production leads and VH1 executives, Kirk and Rashida were described as uncooperative, disruptive, and a liability. There were multiple instances of the word insubordination, and Mona, who has always been renowned for her composure and long-term planning, had finally reached her breaking point. She approved of their contracts being terminated right away. There will be no more warnings or second chances. There was no official heads up given to the couple. Rather, they were informed of their official termination by a single call from a senior producer. No storyline wrap-up, no reunion, no last episode. Just finished. However, Mona didn't simply cut him off. She didn't stop there. she revealed them as well, and everyone was talking about the tea she spilled. Although Mona didn't issue a formal statement following the dismissal, she was very clear about her stance. "One thing about me, I'll feed you, but I won't tolerate being bitten," she wrote in a scathing, well-crafted Instagram post. Although it didn't name anyone, the industry knew that Kirk and Rashida were the target. Fans were not shown the full extent of the betrayal on camera. Numerous insiders claimed that Mona learned that Kirk and Rashida had been covertly supplying bloggers and gossip websites with unfavorable stories. The show's editing crew was allegedly being blamed for fabricating stories, claiming that the producers were tampering with the footage to produce unreal drama. That was a warning sign. It gets worse, though. Behind the scenes, the couple was reportedly in negotiations with another network to start a new reality show that would not feature Mona or VH1 and would instead focus on their lives, businesses, and family drama. This was a direct threat rather than merely an act of ambition. These two were trying to create a rival show with the fame they acquired under Mona's brand. In addition to biting the hand that fed them, Mona helped shape Love and Hip Hop into what it is today. Mona saw that as blatant betrayal because it went beyond all boundaries. What, though, actually lit fans on fire? It was Mona's suggestion that these two had been working as double agents for years. Not just Kirk and Rashida were affected by the fallout. It had an impact on the whole Love and Hip Hop industry. Members of the cast were immediately split. According to reports, Mona was supported by some of the originals, including Young Jock and Spice, who claimed that she had been more than patient and had every right to defend her reputation. It seemed to them that Kirk and Rashida had been putting things off for years before pushing themselves too far. Others, however, were not so quick to pick a side. Some of the more recent cast members claimed in private that they felt Mona's dismissal was too severe and that, like many others, Rashida was merely attempting to manage her image. To some, the drama seemed like a warning shot to the rest of the cast: respect the line or you'll be the next. Reactions erupted on social media in the meantime. One commenter said, "Rashida has been checked out since season 9. Mona should stop letting them run the show. Kirk has been following along in coattails." Another said, "I used to root for them, but recently it felt like they thought they were too good for the show that made them famous. Mona, don't play," wrote a third person. "She was ignoring things, and now that she has finally cleaned the house, people are upset." The real bomb then detonated. According to rumors, Kirk and Rashida weren't the only ones in hot water. According to sources, Mona is now monitoring other actors who have been challenging to work with behind the scenes. According to one insider, Mona's cleaning house. Today, more than ever, loyalty is important, and just as things were beginning to calm down, Kirk and Rashida retaliated with some grave accusations. The pair's silence was short-lived. It was Rashida who answered first. She wrote, "Watch who you call boss. The tables always turned," in a story she shared. There were no names or tags, but everyone knew Mona was the target. Kirk did more than that. He went on Instagram Live and launched into a tirade against his fans. For years, he said, Mona and the producers had been exploiting him and Rashida for ratings, continuously promoting cheesy plot lines despite their explicit refusal to continue. Kirk claims that the tipping point was when producers allegedly attempted to reenact old drama about previous affairs, even asking if he would be comfortable with filming scenes that alluded to infidelity. Kirk claimed that the tension really began when they refused. Additionally, he asserted that Mona was alarmed by the couple's intentions to build their brand. Although he did not confirm the rumor of a rival show, he stated that they were creating their own empire and no longer needed to be contained within the same storyline. Mona, however, was not going to allow them to change the story. Following much back and forth, Mona finally made her voice heard with a statement regarding the direction of hip-hop and love. Fans had been thinking that the show was getting a complete makeover, and she confirmed this in a recent interview clip and follow-up post. She continued, "It's time to clear the dead weight and bring in new talent that's hungry, respectful, and real." The shade was obvious, even though she didn't specifically name Kirk or Rashida. Mona claims the franchise has lost some of its authenticity over time, and she is determined to restore it. She hinted that a more unvarnished view of hip-hop culture that emphasizes genuine hustle over manufactured drama will be featured in the next season, along with all new faces and new cities. A possible reveal episode that would reveal the true causes of the terminations was also alluded to by Mona. Fans are already talking about it on the internet, and some are pleading with her to call out the cast by name and drop receipts. She has not yet announced a release date, but based on the way she is laying the groundwork, a significant event is undoubtedly on the horizon. What does this signify for Love and Hip Hop's future, and are Kirk and Rashida preparing a return on a different platform? Let's dissect it first. It was the culmination of years of minor tensions, not just one incident. Following Miss Shoot's creative conflicts and behind-the-scenes power struggles, Mona made the decision to stop putting up with it. And in doing so, she communicated with everyone involved, not just Kirk and Rashida. Both loyalty and brand respect are important. It also demonstrates a change in reality TV's business model. These days, Mona is more interested in people who can show up, play their part, and still be genuine than she is in the loudest drama. She is placing a wager on the future of hip-hop and love based on that equilibrium. Kirk and Rashida might still have supporters, and they might even end up on a different platform. With Mona, however, that door appears to be permanently closed. What do you all think then? Did Mona make the correct decision, or did she just lose two of her most well-known stars? Please share your thoughts in the space provided below, and remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more updates.